welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well and keeping safe. Back with a brand new video for you. I'm trying really hard now to do Sunday uploads and Thursday morning uploads at 9 o'clock. So if you are back for another video, thank you so much for stopping by. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button down below. Give it a big thumbs up, even though we haven't even started the video yet. Welcome to the channel if you're new here. Hi, welcome. I thought I'd bring you a bit of a different video again today. It is going to be featuring Lawrence, of course, because we haven't had him on the channel for a few videos now, and you guys are all commenting asking how he is, so I thought why not bring him back to the channel. He is currently sat under my feet at the moment, but I will bring him up very shortly. Lawrence had a haircut on Monday morning and he had his kind of puppy coat trimmed and he looks absolutely gorgeous now. I mean, he looked gorgeous before, but he's just so soft and fluffy. Like, I feel like he looks more like he did when he was like a baby. Here he is. He's now a big boy. I feel like he's grown like so much since the last time you guys have seen him. We have been told that his facial hair is going to grow very, very quickly. I don't know if you guys would be able to see, but his body has had a lovely groom. He smells delightful. And he's just being such a good boy as per usual. You're looking more like your mummy and your daddy with your little haircut you've had, little Moo. He's still got that cute little button face. He's just had quite a big old trim round the eyes and the ears, as you can probably see. So yeah, there he is, little man of the hour. I'll let you get back down now. Today I thought a really good video to bring to you guys' attention if you are a new pup parent or you've got a male dog within the age region of, say, 7 months to 9 months, around that kind of age. May or may not be aware of having the option for your dog to be neutered. We had a really interesting time, I guess you could say, with Lawrence's castration. It was a really weird yet interesting / new experience for me, because I've obviously never had a dog before. I don't really know the kind of process of what happens, but yeah, it was just a really strange time that I thought I could come on here and share my experience, and hopefully it will help you guys, if you've got a dog, like I said, and give you a bit more peace of mind to like the whole process, I guess. Now Lawrence is 8 months. He had quite a few checkups with the vets, because when his very first vet kind of appointment, they had told us that his little man bits hadn't dropped yet. So we were like, okay, not really sure what that kind of meant, in terms of like, is that normal? Like, do they drop eventually? Like, we just were kind of unsure, and they said, look, don't panic at this point. It is normal. They can drop over the due course of like 6 months, but we will see him again in like 5 months to see if they have dropped or not. So we went back for our checkup around the 5 to 6 months time scale, and they still hadn't dropped. So then we were a bit like, okay, like, is this actually normal, or is there something we need to do? And they were like, no, again, still, if you're, we'll give it another couple months, see what's going on, and then we'll kind of go from there. Oh, there he is. Don't know if you can see him, guys. That's his new favourite place at the moment, his mum and dad's bed. We went back for another checkup just before Christmas, so December, and one of them had dropped. So the vet came out and said, yep, great news, one of them has dropped. We can kind of feel the other one, so it's not like really up there, but it could drop within the next sort of couple of weeks to a month, we don't know. So we'll give it another couple of weeks. We'll bring him back in again and reassess it again for the 3rd or 4th time. Got to January, booked him in again for his appointment, and it still hadn't dropped. So Lawrence, what are you doing? You shouldn't be there, should you? Look at his little face. Lawrence, that's naughty. He came out and said, yeah, it hasn't dropped. One of them has, so one of the part of the procedure will be completely like normal, if you like, nice and quick, nice and easy, standard kind of procedure. He said, but obviously with the second one that hadn't dropped, it is going to be a bit more kind of a bit more complicated because it was like in his abdomen. So literally one had like literally dropped and one was just up there. So we booked him in for his surgery date, which was like 2.5 weeks ago now. Obviously, as you can see, he is absolutely fine now and loving life as per normal. I just kind of forgot about it, like over the kind of 5 days that we had to wait until the surgery. I was like, oh yeah, like not really like worried about it, hadn't really thought about it. And then all of a sudden, the night before his like surgery day, I was just a complete like, I was worrying, I was panicking. We didn't really know if he was allowed to eat on the morning of his operation, so I was Googling everything. Obviously Google like can work both ways, good and bad. So we didn't give him any food on the morning of his operation. We weren't actually told that by the vet. I think they just assumed that we'd know. But when we went there and they asked us like kind of the questions before he went in, they were like, oh, has he eaten anything? And we were like, no. And they were like, okay, that's good. He shouldn't have had anything. So if you didn't know, then do not feed your pup in the morning of the surgery, because it can cause like vomiting and all that sort of stuff, which can be dangerous. To just kind of take them off their breakfast. And he has his dinner at like 5 o'clock, so he was absolutely fine the night before. He had a little snack before bed, and they said that was absolutely fine. So kind of the normal routine is fine, but the day of the operation, like don't feed them in the morning because it just keeps their stomach completely like clear. I was just a little bit like, oh, I don't want to let him go, like he's, you know, he's my baby. And yeah, we handed him over, and Lawrence's appointment, well, surgery, time started at 9 o'clock, so we dropped him at 9 o'clock, and then we just kind of waited, I guess. We just waited until we heard anything. Got to 2 o'clock, hadn't heard anything. Got to 3, hadn't heard anything. And then 4 o'clock, I got a text saying, please call the practice to arrange a time for Lawrence's like departure, I guess. And we picked him up at around 4:20, 4:30. And oh my God, guys, literally, it actually broke my heart. Like, they got him out, and he had this big cone around his head. I'm going to pop a picture up here of what he looked like with his blue cone, bless him. What are you doing? And he was very, very disorientated. He didn't really know what was going on. He didn't know what was going on. He was very kind of like wimpy, like he couldn't settle right. He was just he was so disorientated. That's probably the best way of like describing him at that specific time. So post 2 to 3 hours of the surgery, he was just not himself at all. Like, he was completely dazed, wasn't aware of what was going on, bless him. And we were told, you know, keep him on a really plain diet for the first like 48 hours, so like chicken, rice, pasta. Like that for me was a huge thing. I was like, dogs can eat that? Like I didn't even know. He absolutely loved it. It was a little bit of a change for him, so he ate that. And then the first night was a little bit tricky. He was a little bit like all over the place, still couldn't like lie down properly. He was really going after that wound, like trying to lick it. I mean, the cone obviously stopped it. He never actually got to the wound itself. That was just really sad to see, bless him, because I was like, oh, just seeing your dog or like anyone that you love in pain or struggling is just like the worst thing, and it is really, really difficult. And I really struggled on those standards as well. Can't help them, you can just try and comfort them, but the best thing we found is just leaving him to it. Like, he spent most of his days in the spare room or in his little bed, just asleep. Didn't want to kind of interact with us, just wanted complete rest, and we just put on some calming puppy music, and that really, really helped him. Post, I'd say 2 days, 3 days, he then went for his first kind of wee and poo and stuff, and they were absolutely fine. I was concerned again the first night. He didn't wee at all, he didn't want to go to the toilet, but that's completely normal. Like, their whole bowel and like that area of their body is just completely like, it's all so new to them, and they can't really control it properly and stuff like that if they don't go to the toilet straight away, because that is completely normal. We found that, again, leaving him to kind of suss the place out again and letting him sniff his normal smells really helped him to feel a bit more like comfortable and stuff. So another thing I'd recommend is just like literally leaving them to it, and don't feel guilty for giving them that space that they need. So that was quite hard the first couple of days, and then moving on to like 4 days post surgery, he had his checkup just to make sure that the wound was okay. There was no swelling, there was no oozing, there was no like redness, etc. And the vet was like, yeah, it's healing really nicely. There's no kind of signs of infection or anything like that, which was music to my ears because he just was on it 24/7. They were pulling his cone away. He was not leaving that. Like, that was proper, like, I'm getting to that. Moving on from that, he had really good report from vets. That was really nice. And then I would be lying if I said the next kind of couple of days were easy, because they weren't. That was when it got really, really tricky for us. Lawrence had a really, really upset stomach. He wasn't eating very well. He didn't really feel kind of up to doing anything apart from literally sleeping. And it just... it just completely put us in a spin. Like, we were so concerned about him. Every time we wanted to go to the toilet, it was just like, well, put it bluntly, it was just pure liquid. Yeah, it was really hard to see him like that, because you could tell he was in so much pain. He was crying loads. And obviously I called the vet straight away, and they said, right, it's obviously going to be an effect from the medication, because he was on medication to kind of help pain relief and stuff. So they said, you know, take him off the medication, come and pick up this certain kind of stool firmer to help him with that, and that should kind of start to get his body back into a really healthy state again. Not saying he wasn't healthy, but obviously when your dog's got a bit of a weak tummy, it does obviously affect like their eating and stuff like that. He didn't really enjoy having that, but it did help a lot. It got to about Monday, Tuesday, and his last checkup was on the Wednesday. He started sleeping really well from like the Friday evening, Saturday night, and he was literally sleeping from like 10:30 till like 8:45 in the morning, which was, for us, was like, what is going on? Like, Lawrence sleeps a lot, don't get me wrong, but having that full like 9-hour sleep was just unreal for us. That was really, really nice. It got to Wednesday and we got really, really good news. The vet was like, yeah, the wound is completely healed. It's healed really, really nicely. You know, he may want to still itch it a little bit because it's still like it was still scabbing ever so slightly, but the actual wound itself was completely healed, which was amazing to hear. And we got told that on Friday his cone could come off. So that was at the 10th day out of the whole kind of surgery period. The 10th day his cone was able to come off. Now that's purely on the experience that he had such a hefty incision, a lot deeper than kind of if a male dog had both balls dropped, basically. With Lawrence's, it wasn't. It was much more in depth and a lot more kind of heavy. But he did so well, and he just took it in his stride, bless him. And as soon as that cone came off, guys, I'm not even joking you, he was running around. He was like, he just had his mojo back, and you could tell he was so happy. We didn't take him for like a proper long walk, I would say, until the Saturday, where we took him off the lead and he was completely back to normal. Like, his obedience was exactly the same. His toilet training hadn't been lost at all. Generally, I think he had 2 accidents. He weed on his bed once, and he weed on our rug, bless him. But again, replaceable, washable, absolutely fine. We were not angry at him in the slightest, because when they're so confused and like they're all a bit like, whoa, it's hard for them to understand. And bless him, as soon as he did that, he knew. He was like, oh my god, I shouldn't be doing that, and he ran straight to the door, which is his normal routine. Like, if he needs a toilet, he'll just go and sit by our front door, and he'll wait until we obviously let him out. What's this? Here he is, after his fresh new trim. Is that your favourite toy? Is that your favourite toy? Like, actual body hair is like already growing back to its normal state. It's actually crazy how quick Lawrence's hair grows. It's a joke. Lawrence, do you want to say hi? He literally cracks me up sometimes. He's just the cutest little thing ever. Another kind of comment I wanted to mention was the fact that he didn't touch any of his toys for a week. We were told, like, during the process to keep them as calm as possible, no jumping, no kind of leaping about, that sort of stuff, which was quite hard for Lawrence because he normally does chill out on the sofa, so we had to keep picking him up and putting him back on the floor, which was difficult, but he did get used to it eventually. The only thing that I'd recommend actually is buying some long-lasting chews. So we actually picked up, I'll put their link in the description box below, but we purchased a few kind of teething long-lasting chews from Pic N, which is a dog picker mixer. It's absolutely lush, and he just loved it. We got the broccoli version. It was quite big, but it kept him going for like 40 minutes. It just gave him a distraction than trying to get at the kind of itchiness on his wound. He was fine to eat treats. I'd say three days in. We didn't give him loads, we just gave him a few bits because I was concerned he wasn't eating, so I just gave him a few kind of regular things that he has normally that would get his appetite back up again. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching. We hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button for us, and we cannot wait to see you in the next video. So all the best, guys, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye!